talk a bit loud because I don't know if I can get this loud enough.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Unity Myrtle Beach. And we are really glad you're all here this morning, this beautiful morning. Whether you're returning, whether you're watching this on live stream or you watch this at a later date. Unity is an inclusive spiritual community. I always like to say that it's the Unity community. And I wanted to just read our vision here. So we have these little yellow cards, and I know we're always reading the manifestation on the back, but like well, my name's Colleen Albright, by the way. If you don't know me, I am on the board here, and I love visions. I love vision boards. I love, if you don't have a map, you don't know where you're going or how to get there, or you don't even know your destination. So the vision of our church or center, we are centered in spirit. We embrace the world as one through love, peace, joy, and abundance. And that to me is just beautiful and the reason I come here. So in our mission, as a welcoming doorway, we foster peace, teach and encourage an awareness of spirit within, and inspire a way of life that serves all. Just take a breath on that just for a moment, maybe feeling a little centered, being in this moment, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Relax the shoulders, and I just want to read you a poem that I read quite often. It's called, it's by Scott Stable. He's an inspirational writer and speaker, and I was looking him up this morning, and of course he talks at Unity churches as well as so many other places, and everything all comes together. It's all connected, so I love that. And sometimes I just feel kind of down. The rain really was a lot this past month, but then we got the hurricane. That was on my birthday. And so just kind of feeling a little meh. But I always remember what I heard here, and it's, I think, a Jamaican proverb, no rain, no rainbow. So it always makes me happy when I think that way. So you can't have a rainbow without the rain, you can't have the good without the bad. So it just kind of keeps me in an attitude of gratitude. So the poem goes, and you can close your eyes, relax, just breathe. Just show up as you are. You don't have to look or feel great. You don't have to be prepared for every challenge or know all the hows of every situation. You don't have to be fearless or have all the answers or be 100% ready. Nobody is any of these things. Nobody ever was. It's not about being perfect at all. You just have to show up as you are, despite all the objections and insecurities of your mind, despite each and every fear that threatens to hold you back. Sorry. Despite the limitations and criticisms others will place on you. The hell with that. This is your life, your journey, your adventure. And all it's asking of you is that you show up for it as you are. That's enough. That's more than enough. That's everything. Sorry. Yeah. So now we are going to enjoy a song from our band called I Release.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you got to let it go, let it all go.
that releasing. So there is a card close by you, a blue card, and there's some saying, if you haven't been here before, you know, there's some songs we do and our sayings, but we are all going to read together the Lord's Prayer, translated, now I can't talk. Sorry. Translated from Aramaic, the language of Jesus. Father, Mother, birther, and breath of all, create a space inside us and fill it with your presence. Let oneness now prevail. Your one desire then flows through ours as energy fills all form. Give us this day our physical and spiritual nourishment, and untangle the knots of error that bind us as we release others. Do not let appearances make us forgetful of the source, but free us to act appropriately. From age to age, through you, flow the glorious harmonies of life. May these words be faith statements, through which our future grows. Amen, amen, amen. So, our daily word, which is just great thing to have if you get it regularly through Unity. The word for today, Sunday, August 18th, is wholeness. And the affirmation is, and we'll read this later after I finish the reading, the affirmation is, as a divine being, I am whole. I know I am whole, wondrously made, and a unique expression of the divine. But I cannot truly know wholeness if I become distracted by an experience of illness or thoughts of lack or limitation. I do not resist limiting thoughts. Instead, I feel the light of the divine understanding dissolve the darkness of spiritual ignorance. Remembering that divine life lives in me, I affirm my body's wholeness even if I am experiencing illness. Growing awareness of the limitless flow of divine ideas reminds me I have all I need to experience a joyous, abundant life. As I say yes again and again to my true spiritual nature, my life becomes an ever-folding demonstration of wholeness. And the scripture verse, Luke 11:36, if then your whole body is full of light, with no part of it in darkness, it will be as full of light as when a lamp gives you light with its rays. And if you'd all like to just repeat with me that affirmation, I'll say it one more time. As a divine being, I am whole.
As a divine being, I am whole.
Good stuff, good stuff. I love how it all comes together. Even when you don't plan it, it just all comes together, so it's kind of cool. Oh. So, today, Reverend Margaret Hiller will do our meditation and message on the Beatitudes, the Aramaic translation. And she will do this after our wonderful music team sings our next song, Come Away, My Beloved.
just want to go on record saying thank you to this music team. They show up every Sunday to help us find the song in our hearts, even when we may not feel like singing. Thank you, music team. Thank you. Yeah. I know there must be Sundays when they don't feel like getting up, and yet they've said they'd be here. And that's my idea about all of us as eternal spiritual beings. And my perspective of the world, we declared to Spirit somewhere along the way, I will show up and be here when I'm needed. And we took physical embodiment. We said, we're going to be here at such a time as this. Now, if you feel like that's way out there, you'll just hold me in prayer. Okay? Just hold me in prayer. That's what, this week, Colleen, I'll just tell you this, it doesn't leave this room. This week, I've been very close to tears all week. And David said, what is it about? I said, it's an unnameable sorrow. It's just, I can't put a name to it right now. And maybe we all feel that way sometimes. And of course, we pick up on the sorrows of the collective, don't we? We feel the energy of the community. We feel the energy of the world. We feel so many things maybe and not know exactly what the sorrow is about. And it does happen that today's beatitude that we're looking at is, blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. And so as we go into our meditation, I just want to remind us of a few things. Charles Fillmore said, quietly enter the inner chamber within your soul. Shut the door to the external thoughts of daily life and seek conscious union with God. This is the highest form of prayer that we know. So for me, for all of us, that's a guiding formula for conscious union with the creative consciousness of the all that is. It's the place Jesus spoke about when he said, I and the Father are one. That's a very powerful place to access when we are feeling the sorrows, right? Yes?
Yes.
So in that place, when we seek that conscious union with the all that is, we're blessing ourselves and we're blessing all those with whom we're connected. A woman at Unity Village asked me, well, how many souls would that be? So you get to answer that.
All of them.
Somebody just said it. Everyone, all souls. So we're going to practice this now, entering the highest form of prayer. So I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you, and to take and actually to receive your deep healing breaths. And as we receive the deep healing breath, we allow that breath to help us access that inner chamber, a place Jesus called the kingdom of heaven. We receive the breath and we give the breath back out. Like the ocean, waves coming into shore and waves returning back out. We give thanks for the healing breath. As you consciously receive your breaths, as we go into silence, I invite you to hear this blessing of Master Jesus. Blessed are those in emotional turmoil. They shall be united inside by love. Healthy are those weak and overextended for their purpose. They shall feel their inner flow of strength return. Healed are those who weep for their frustrated desire. They shall see the face of fulfillment in a new form. Aligned with the one are the mourners, for they shall be comforted. Tuned to the source are those feeling deeply confused by life. They shall be returned from their wandering. As we receive our regenerating, healing breaths, think of all those that we're holding in our hearts and in prayer. And I invite you to say out loud any names that you would like to say out loud, those that you are holding in prayer today. John Wilder and his brother Ben, Tracy Foxworth, Will Sherwood, all the names that have been spoken, all those unspoken. All those we're remembering right now, near and far and physical and non-physical, those around the world. And we hold in prayer all world leaders, knowing that it is possible to have as their highest priority the well-being of all life. That all leaders access the consciousness of compassion and wisdom and kindness and respect. We give thanks for remembering who we are. We say, so it is, and so we let it be. Namaste. I also want to bring to your attention the table over here. We have our memorial candle set up, and you're invited to write names of those you'd like to remember in prayer on the memorial table. We have a few names there today, including the parents of Jesus Hernandez, Addis and his father, Jesus. And you're welcome to write on the little cards up here those you want to remember. So last Sunday we started a series. Oh, let me say this too. I was not supposed to be your speaker today. Tracy Foxworth was supposed to be your speaker, and she is dealing with some physical concerns, and we hope she can be with us next Sunday. So hold her in prayer as she regains her strength. So, last Sunday we started the Beatitudes, the Aramaic translation. And to review, this is the Sermon on the Mount. A lot of us know those Beatitudes as that, the Sermon on the Mount. And Jesus gathered with his disciples up on the mountain, and he gave them some formulas for remembering their spiritual attributes, their spiritual strength. And in a way, it was kind of like a job description. He said, you're going to go forth, you're going to bring healing, you're going to bring hope, you're going to go forth and do this thing. It was almost like an ordination speech to them. Because, you know, I'm pretty sure Jesus knew that there were going to come days when they were going to forget and they were going to feel a lack of confidence and a lack of remembering of who they are. It's never happened to us, but to those disciples way back when, he knew that they would forget. And so the first beatitude last week, blessed and happy and aligned with the one are those who find their home in the breathing. They are guided by God's light. So that's how important our breath is. And how many of us find ourselves holding our breath? Don't we? And so we're withholding from ourselves the continual inspiring of spirit within our bodies, within our minds. So Jesus was speaking to his disciples, and he says, this is what you're going to want to do. He said, you're going to want to bless others and yourself, and to help others remember their light, and you'll remember yours as well in the doing of those blessings. So in Fillmore's Revealing Word, you remember, he says blessing metaphysically is imparting, quickening spiritual power. When you bless someone, and I'm not talking about that southern blessing where we say bless their little heart. No, that's not what we're talking about. We are talking about a powerful invocation of spirit and blessing another person with that kind of energy. So in Fillmore's Revealing Word, we are imparting quickening spiritual power that produces growth or healing or increase. What we bless, we increase, right? So when we bless someone for good health or peace or hope, we are increasing that kind of energy for ourselves and for them. Spiritual quickening is an inflow of divine vitality. I'll have what they're having. I want that divine vitality, right? When we bless someone, like the song they sang this morning, I am alive with the Spirit of God. I can't hear that song without hearing Dale Worley, Reverend Dale Worley. And he did it like Jerry Lee Lewis, you know, on the piano. To become alive with the Spirit of life, of God. That's what we're doing when we bless someone else and when we bless ourselves or open ourselves to receive blessing or spiritual quickening. We're calling for divine understanding when we bless ourselves or someone else. So the second beatitude today from the King James Version, blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. How many of us have had that experience? For me, it's the peace that passes all understanding. In the midst of grief, in the midst of loss, in the midst of heartbreak, at some moment, we feel that peace. The peace that passes all understanding. So here's, again, the entire Aramaic translation of that one line, blessed are the mourners, for they shall be comforted. So this is what Jesus was saying to them. Blessed are those in emotional turmoil. They shall be united inside by love. Healthy are those weak and overextended for their purpose, for they shall feel the inner flow of strength return. Healed are those who weep for their frustrated desire. They shall see the face of fulfillment in a new form. Aligned with the one are the mourners, they shall be comforted. Tuned to the source are those feeling deeply confused by life. They shall be returned from their wandering. This was written for me this past week. Jesus knew that 2,000 years up the road, there's going to be this gal. She's going to need to hear this. Healthy are those weak and overextended. They'll feel the inner flow of strength return. They'll find fulfillment in a new form. Those who are deeply confused by life, they shall be returned from their wandering. Bobby Shropshire has brought us a version of that song, I'm Just a Poor Wayfaring Stranger. Haven't we all had those moments when we felt like we were just walking around bumping into walls, right? I committed somewhere along the way this scripture into my consciousness, and it comes back to me when I feel like I need to be uplifted with strength, and that's from the book of Isaiah, chapter 41. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They'll mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not grow weary. They shall walk and not faint. And then the song goes, teach me, Lord, teach me to wait. What does that mean? Those that seek this consciousness that we talk about, the Christ consciousness, the awakened consciousness, the kingdom of heaven consciousness, when we wait on that, meaning when we give our attention to that, when we access that, when we go into the quietude and open to that consciousness, we'll find our strength renewed. We'll find our hope renewed. And sometimes it takes more than 20 minutes. You know, sometimes it takes more than just one try at it. Sometimes we have to go into the fifth principle of unity, which is practice the truth you know. It's not enough just to hear it, to agree with it. We are called to practice it. Just like when you started practicing guitar or piano or singing, we get better at it as we practice. So the powerful declaration, we shall feel inner flow of strength return. We shall be comforted. We will return from our wandering. The Greeks translated the word labwil as mourn. In Aramaic, the word does mean mourn. It also means to be confused, to feel turmoil, and to wander aimlessly. Now that can mean literally wandering aimlessly, or it can mean in our minds. And it carries this idea, a longing to be carried beyond what our self recognizes as its limits. Mourning can carry us beyond who we think we are. How many of us have had the experience in our grief to discover how strong we are and to discover the depth of faith that we have? Maybe we don't know how strong we are until we need to access that strength, right? This is a book I've been reading. It's called The Revelations of the Aramaic Jesus. And this writer, Neil Douglas Klotz, says, when we have the intense emotions like grief, remorse, confusion, regret, guilt, sometimes we feel that we are coming apart at the seams. If we will still continue breathing, we can return to the blessing or the rightness of our true identity. God bless what's happening over there. When we breathe through these intense feelings, we find that we come out of our lingering in the darkness and we stand more strongly in the light. We are rebirthed, knit back together within, K-N-I-T, knitted back together within. In this place of breathing, we clearly reunite with the larger universe of life and love. The larger universe of life and love. Mourning and emotional turmoil can lead us to the doorway of actually recreating ourselves and our perceptions of the world around us. Might that be a good idea? Especially now, to be particularly committed to accessing that consciousness so that we can see clearly what's going on in our world. Because in fact, New Thought teaching is we are helping to create the world that we see unfolding before us. So if I'm upset about the confusion and turmoil, I need to do my part in bringing balance and peace. So the Aramaic word to mourn, to be confused, to feel emotional turmoil. And in fact, that the mourning can hold a higher purpose of us remembering or going beyond who we think we are to the true identity. So this is not the old-time religious idea. You know, the old-time religious idea, I know some of you love that old-time religious idea that I'll have my reward in heaven. Anybody still looking for that? Well, the truth is, you know, when I die and go to my little cabin in glory land, I have my, you know, my interior decorator, got my cabin. What Unity teaches, what New Thought teaches, is we access heaven now. We don't have to wait till we take our last breath. We access heaven in the breathing now, in the remembering now, in accessing that consciousness now. I feel bad now, but I'll have my reward in heaven. Well, I can put metaphysics on that. I feel bad now, I'll have my reward in heaven. I have my healing and my renewal in the consciousness of heaven. And I can choose that moment by moment. Am I going to choose heaven now, even in the midst of this turmoil? Yes. Am I going to choose heaven now, even in the midst of my sorrows? I better. I don't want to go into the other consciousness. So delayed peace is not what Jesus was talking about. What keeps us from feeling our union with God now? That's a good question for all of us. Just take a deep breath. What keeps us from feeling our union with this consciousness of love now? What keeps us from feeling our peace now? What keeps us from feeling hope or forgiveness now? I have my list. I bet you have your list too. What prevents us from feeling our holy breath, from feeling nature's renewing life energy? So we return from our wandering. We have these moments where we're lost and then we feel found again, right? We find ourselves again. When I was preparing this talk in the last few days, I remembered a man I met years ago at a little Unity church in Lewiston, Idaho. Anybody? Wouldn't that be something? Sometimes that happens. Little tiny Unity church. My former ministry colleague, one of them, Phyllis Weiss, we were on a workshop tour, and that was one of the churches where we were booked in to speak for the service and a workshop afterwards. And in that workshop that afternoon, we were drawing and coloring in or creating mandalas to help. It was part of a meditation workshop. We were creating mandalas. And into the workshop, late arrival, walked a man who was kind of raggedy, and he looked like he'd been camping or, living out in the wilderness. And he just walked in and didn't say a word, just took one of the, the pieces of art paper, and he got some pens and he started doing his mandala. And I tell you, as I watched, I thought, who is this guy? He was creating this most magnificent work of art. So when we got to the part of the workshop when we told about our mandalas, he told this story. And it went something like this. He said, I can show you in this picture now my sense of centeredness and balance. He said, I can show you my peace. He said, I can show you that now. He said, but 20 years ago, I lost everything. And he meant his family, his home. He had been in the world of, he was in the art world. He had made a wonderful income in San Francisco, and he collapsed. And he spent a lot of years on the street in San Francisco. Somehow he found his way to Lewiston, Idaho. Somehow he met a couple who had an estate. They needed a gardener. This man needed a job. Fast forward 20 years later, he was living in the gardener's cottage on the estate. He was the main caretaker of the estate, and he had created beautiful gardens there. He said this couple saw in him a light that he had forgotten he had. He had been a well-known artist in San Francisco. He said, what I found is the ability to return to myself. He says, I've never been happier. He said, I'm a simple gardener, and I create beauty every day. He said, the greatest surprise is people stop in their cars, get out of their cars, and they say, can you show me your garden? And he'll say, often 3 or 4 hours later, I'm walking back with them to their car, realizing they were really wanting to get in touch with their own garden, their own consciousness of peace. And he said, and I can give that to them now because I made my way back from hell. He returned from his wandering. He told me, I never thought I would be able to renew my life when I had known such success financially and in the art world. He said, but I lost everything to find myself. Now, do we have to lose everything to find ourselves? No. But I do suggest that when we experience a kind of loss, when we have those moments in life where we feel like we've lost something that may never be replaced, that we allow ourselves to breathe into that feeling so that spirit can go to work in us, so that something else can be created out of that sense of losing everything. I hear some people sometimes say to me, I've lost everything. And it probably feels like that. There's always something left that we can work with to redeem ourselves, to redeem our souls. I promise you that. So what prevents us from feeling our holy breath in the midst of what we're all dealing with? We're all dealing with something. Or we have a loved one who's dealing with something. Or we have a world that's dealing with a lot of some things. So with confusion, there's always the possibility of clarity. What does it require of us? That we go beyond the rigidity of what we're holding on to. Have you ever done this? When I'm down in that valley of the shadow, when I'm in that place, sometimes I feel angry so that I cut myself off from the blessings of peace. You've never done that. Or I will look around for the evidence to prove how bad it is. So here's my new practice, looking around for the evidence of the good unfolding. What's the good that's happening? I'm seeing it everywhere, aren't you? We were visiting with Tracy Foxworth on Saturday, and we were talking about different things going on in the world. Use your imagination. And Tracy said, I feel the shift.
Amen.
And David and I said, we feel the shift.
Yes.
Okay. So, let go of the rigidity. How many of us are ready and willing to let go of the rigidity that's keeping us from feeling our magnificence?
Amen.
Ready.
So some of you have heard this story before, but I like to hear it again now. So a while back, a few years ago, I took myself, because of Ed Kozak, he kept telling me about how great Vipassana meditation was. So I didn't sign up for just the 3-day, I signed up for the 10-day silent retreat, because I'm a spiritual person. And so off I went to this 10-day silent retreat, and so it was silence during meals, silence all day, you didn't talk to anybody, and who are you left with? Your own thoughts. But in the evening, we would go and we would watch videos of Mr. Govinka. Mr. Govinka from India, who was teaching about the Vipassana meditation. And so he would say, with a deep accent, he would say, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Follow your own desperation. This is the first night. And I'm thinking, what? Oh, he's just going to jump right into our desperation? He wants us to follow our desperation? Are you kidding me? First night? Couldn't we have like a little peaceful meditation? So, all through the night, I'm practicing my breathing. And more of my desperate stories are coming to mind. That time I felt desperate there. That time I felt desperate there. Follow my own desperation. Second morning, I'm still following my own desperation. I'm getting more agitated by the second. What in the world am I here for? What was I thinking signing up for 10 days of this? Second night, I hear him again. Follow your own desperation. Third day, I'm making plans to get out of there as fast as I can. I am packing my bag mentally. I'm getting ready to go to the instructor. Something in me said, well, just give it one more day. You can always leave in the morning. That night, third night, sitting in meditation with all these other people, I hear Mr. Govinka, breathe in, breathe out. Follow your own respiration. I'm saying, wait a minute. It was respiration? Follow your own breath. Follow, if you don't have enough entertainment in your life, you just watch yourself. Follow your own breath. So the idea of Vipassana meditation, the thoughts will come. Of course the thoughts come. The thoughts of turmoil or wandering aimlessly or being confused or not knowing what's next. Breathe in, breathe out. Let the thoughts drift by. They come again. Breathe in, breathe out. Let the thoughts move by. Follow your own breath. Follow your own respiration. And watch those thoughts of turmoil and anxiety lessen, lessen, lessen. Does it all happen in one sitting? No! Not for most of us, but practice helps us to follow our own breath and move through the intense emotions so that then we can be available to the awakening consciousness, the clarity, the next right and perfect steps. You know, I find it interesting that we have been given all the tools to access awakened consciousness, and yet we go, oh, have you seen this new book? It's like, wow, all the answers are in this new book. Just read this book. Or there's a seminar that's going to give us all the, you know. It's never like that, right? But you and I have within us the ability, the capacity, the powers to access that consciousness nonstop, 24/7. As a matter of fact, Jesus said, pray without ceasing. In my opinion, that's what he meant.
Amen.
Be in that consciousness 24/7. So we want to feel at home, right? Don't we want to feel at home?
Yes.
We want to feel our true identity, right? There's this idea that life, spirit, is conspiring to help us learn through everything. Even the fearful moments, even the turmoil, even the loss, even the pain. Someone says, well, can't we learn through joy? Oh, yes. Yes, we can. And that's increasing. Let us not forget that spirit is at work in all of it. Most of us, many of us, through our lives, we want to race through the hard parts, don't we? Get this over with. Get back to normal. Oh, honey. Where is normal? Somebody said, I want to go back to the good old days. I said, where were those good old days? Where were they? So the awakening reminds us we're going to have our epiphanies. Sometimes they'll come out of the blue, aha moment, wow, an epiphany. We're also learning through the grieving in the morning. And we're comforted by this spirit. We're comforted. So let's take a deep breath. We breathe into the breathing. We breathe into the holy breath. We allow ourselves to be comforted in the midst of those intense emotions of grief, sorrow. We allow ourselves to be renewed and restored and regenerated in body, mind, and spirit. We follow our own breath. The breathing in, the breathing out. Beyond all sense of confusion, we breathe into peace. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Oh, we did it, we did it. We did it. Oh, everybody say, Okay, y'all, we did that part. Now what's the next part? Offering. The receiving. We received the breath. Now we receive the green energy, your blessings in the form of cash, checks, volunteer service, all of your donations and all the ways that they come in. We just received a donation this morning in the mail from someone that we haven't seen since we left the old building. They're living up in Massachusetts. They just wanted to bless us, our community, with financial blessing and gratitude for us doing this here. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes. It is.
Yes. So before we have the song, Do All You Can, we're going to receive your tithes and offerings. So you remember that God's in charge, number one. Spirit's in charge. And you remember to pray for, hold in consciousness and blessing your board of directors, your leadership, your minister, so that we have the wisdom and clarity to know how to use your donations, right?
Also your retired ministers, too.
Also your retired ministers. We always want to bless our volunteers, all the people showing up to do so many important projects. And there'll be more about that in the coming Sundays of what our next steps are for New Sanctuary. Just consider yourself blessed. Please receive the gratitude of the community here for all the ways you support. And so now as we receive the offering, we will hear, "Do all you can." Where we are, right? And we bless these tithes and offerings for that purpose, doing all we can with what we have in the place where we are with the time that we have. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All righty, y'all. I know you're excited to hear the announcements, so we want to welcome everybody. And any first-time visitors today? I don't think so. But we have some folks who've returned from being away for a long time. Guys, can you all stand up well, you're already standing. Tell us your name and where you're visiting from.
We live here now. My name is Jim.
And Tom.
Welcome.
Good to see y'all again. We used to see them at the old building, so it's good to see y'all again. For anyone who wants a packet, even if you're not a first timer, maybe you came for the first time and you didn't get a packet, so here it is. It's got your name on it. And it has a lot of good information in here about unity and about this church. Right after service today, well, after you've taken care of yourself with the bathroom and water, there's coffee inside of the kitchen, we will do our Connect the Dots in the back room of the house. So that will be about 12:15. And that's continued dialogue about today's message. The prayer box is on the back table with the prayer request slips. The August schedule is on the back table. Now, here's a fun event that's coming up this coming Friday. What? Oh, yeah, this coming Friday, August 23rd, is the Medicine Show with Dave Lacombe and Bobby Shropshire and friends. We haven't had a medicine show in a while. It's great fun. I could even say raucous fun, but it is fun. Lots of good music, good philosophy. The flyers are on the back table. Marlene will be back there with the sign-up sheet to receive your money, cash, check. If you have a card, Charlene can help you in the office. The tickets are $22. It is a fundraiser for Unity Myrtle Beach. With that $22 ticket, you receive the dessert fest after the show. There's going to be lots of wonderful goodies set up. Plus, with your ticket, so hang on to your ticket, there will be a drawing for a door prize with lovely prizes. So be sure to get your ticket in the back from Marlene after service. And the Unity Fall Conference is coming up in September at Lake Junaluska. The flyers are on the back table with the website where you can get even more information. It's September 17th through 21st. And the early bird date is August
15th, I think.
It's actually, they've extended it till tomorrow, August 19th. So be sure, this is the yes ma'am.
Kate has one more spot in her car. If anybody wants.
Oh, Kate and Cassandra are going to that
And
conference.
Maria.
And Maria, so there's one more spot in their car if you want to carpool with them. So get your flyer and see about that. It's great fun, wonderful speakers, great music, lots of unity, philosophy, and workshops, and you will enjoy yourself immensely and meet great people. So our Wednesday book group is happening, Fifth Agreement, Thursday afternoon, A Course in Miracles with John Wilder, and also Thursday afternoon, Focus on Fillmore with Shirley Shear. Your clear backpacks are coming in. The front room of the house is filling up with these backpacks. These can be now received all year long by Help for Kids, and they will distribute them to the kids who need them. Simply a clear backpack, which they're requiring now in the schools, fill it with school supplies, and they'll make sure the kids who need them get them all year long. And next Sunday, we hope it will be Tracy Foxworth. And again, hold her in prayer. And if Tracy's not able to be with us, then I will continue as your speaker with the Beatitudes. I think I've covered all the announcements, have I? Okay. Yay. So we are going to continue with our updated prayer of unity. It's on your blue card. Inspired by James Dillett Freeman. All together, please. The light of God surrounds us. The presence of love enfolds us. The power of peace protects us. And the one presence that lives within all creation enlivens us. Wherever we are, love is, peace is, light is, God is, and all is well. And that's the truth. Let's stand for our peace song, also on your blue card.
Are you ready?
It begins with you, because you're the light of the world. Have a great week, guys.